Time of death predetermined?
Well, yes, this is what the Quran says at the end of Surah Luqman, that the Almighty knows where a person is going to die. And as a natural corollary for that, of course, it means that the words of the Quran are بِأَيِّ أَرْضٍ تَمُوتْ, wherever a person is going to die. So this would mean that, of course, the Almighty does know the time of death, and this is in His knowledge. But one thing that we need to understand is that the Almighty's knowledge doesn't mean that He is driving that thing itself. You see, these are two independent things. Having knowledge of something and having that thing to happen out of, your own will, they are two different things. But yes, the answer to your question is in the affirmative.
So it could be the consequences of our actions that some people may die unhealthy, become unhealthy and die earlier, and if they work on their health, they may live a little bit longer. But it's not like it's something definitely written somewhere that this is the age that you're given, no matter how you spend your life, whatever choices you make, this is what your life is. Is this the...
I think the complete statement that you have given is in the knowledge of God. Well, that such and such a person would be careless, he would not look after his health, he'll drink liquor or in excess, or he'll do such and such things which are against his health, as a result of which he will die at such and such an age. You see, it's like saying that the Almighty has knowledge of the ultimate time of death and also what led to that death. Because you see, there are deaths which take place out of nowhere. There are sudden deaths, for example, in accidents. And there are other deaths which take place because of our own carelessness or maybe some of the other factors. But what we can say is that the Almighty has knowledge of the cause. And the ultimate time of death is like saying that, well, God knows that the person will die, let's say, at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, because 10 days or 15 days ago, he started to do these and these things which were against prescription of the doctor, and he ended up like this. So the whole sequence of events is in the knowledge of God, and it is not that that sequence of events is governed by God. Being careless is something that we do out of our own will. It is not that God makes us careless and hence He wants to produce a certain result because our death is distant. What happens is that basically out of our own free will we become careless, and that results in a certain outcome. So this is how it is in the knowledge of God. And by the way, this concept of taqdeer or things being written, it is alien to the Quran. The Quran speaks of the knowledge of God. It says, يَعْلَمُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُمْ. He knows what is in the past. He knows what is going to be in the future. So everywhere in the Quran, we find the Quran talking about God's knowledge. His all-embracing knowledge. It surrounds everything. This concept of everything being written down, I think, has arisen because of not understanding certain narratives of the Prophet. And the word taqdeer, as we can see, as being used in Muslim literature, has not been used by the Quran anywhere in the meaning that we have construed it to be.
Yeah, I think it's a wider question and problem, the problem of predetermination. Right?
Yes.
There's a very common, people say that if God knew that I'm going to do something bad, and if God knew that I'm going to commit this sin, then it means that it is caused by God, so why I'm being punished.
Absolutely.
That's
so
what...
this is another problem of philosophy, I think, which the Quran has solved in a couple of verses. It says, Man sha'a falyu'min, man sha'a falyakfur. The Almighty has not imposed Himself on ourselves. He's not imposed guidance. He has left this to us. We can accept or we can reject. Of course, there are consequences, but it's not that we are programmed by birth that we have to do certain things. And yes, there are certain things which are fixed. For example, we don't know the parents. We are born in a certain household. We are born in a certain country. We are born with a certain stature or a color or all those things. So these are the areas which the Almighty has fixed or programmed. But He's not going to check us in these areas. He's not going to test us in these areas. So the whole issue of test, it becomes absolutely redundant if everything is pre-programmed, or if everything is predetermined. The Almighty insists that the test that we are going to go through, all of us, it is on the basis of our own free will. And wherever that will is hampered in any way, the trial or the accountability reduces. It's just like in a court of law, if we do something out of compulsion, if we do something out of ignorance maybe, at times due to some other reason, automatically our own judges, they give this concession to the criminal. So on a very similar way, the way that we judge criminals, we judge them on the basis of the amount of free will that they had if they were committing a crime. We never punish a person for something that he could not have done or could have done. On a very similar way, on a very similar line, the Almighty is going to take us to account or take our accountability in the very area that we were able to do something out of our own volition.